Wow, everybody. We did it. Success. We've booted up. Oh, shit. Did I get delegated to the corner right? Or am I always in the corner right?
I always see you on the top left.
I'm always on the top left. It's Pad.
Yeah.
Pad's name.
I'm on the top.
I mean, you're on the lower left.
You can move the windows around.
Yeah. I'm not fucking with this. I don't need to be here. Because all the windows are layered 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I started dragging them around, 4 would be on top. And then, you know, I don't want to piss off Luke.
Oh, that would be it's so hard.
But then
Luke?
4.
Who's Luke?
Yeah, Luke.
Oh, the guy behind you. Ray is our 5th guest.
Our 5th guest, Luke Skywalker's on the show tonight.
Hell yeah! Woo!
Deaths. He's hosted a URL show called
what's that game? We're obsessed with that dancing Star Wars music.
Oh,
Hellacious Crumb. Yeah. What a bum. That fucking Star Wars Connect. It'd be fun. We should play that on John. Get it?
I have a Connect.
Yeah,
I don't
Connect.
have Star Wars. I
It's
see
a
a
Star Wars. It's a dancing Star Wars game. Like
it's
Dance Central.
It's a bunch of Star Wars mini games, right? It's not just
Well, it's a lot of different things, and I mean,
but one of them is like literally it's just dance, but it's Star Wars parodies of songs. And including I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo.
That alone should tell you when it was released.
Yeah. Great song. Great fucking
Anyways, we have Pat Chennington.
Oh shit.
Give it up for Pat.
What up, everybody?
I mean,
drop emojis in the chat.
It'd be foolish not to ask.
Right.
But what is your last name?
I knew this was going to come up. I know it's a hot topic of discussion. But you know what? I said, tonight I'll do it up. I'm going to reveal it during this stream. So I'll tell you right now.
All right.
My last name.
Greetings from Internet USA.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Wow.
I told you it was a crazy last name.
Yeah, I can see why you don't say it.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, 20 syllables. Yeah. Jesus.
I wouldn't want to be related to him either.
Yeah. I never have room for anything like filling out, like going somewhere. I could renew my license. Nothing fits. It's bad.
I have a license plate that's the last name, but it's just really long.
Yeah, it's like a CVS receipt. You just got to take it with you. It drags behind your feet.
I hate to see your ID. It's probably like 2 feet long.
And you know what else is 2 feet long? On Pad. Pad, aka I call him the Vaporwave Chad. Not in a bad way, but I think everyone, me included, is like Vaporwaves for inside kids who like to be sad and shit. And then Pad's over here literally just like, I'm fucking smoking a cigar. I'm outside. Fuck you.
What this is at.
He's got tats.
He's got tats.
He's a Chad.
He's fit.
Man.
I'll take the Vapor Chad name.
Vapor Chad. Look, not a negative way. I think he's defying what it means to be a Vaporwaver. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to be sad and a nerd anymore.
Yeah.
So John,
you know what?
let's go.
When we were all at Electronicon, you really met like a ton of different personalities too. Like I really thought I thought it was going to be everyone was going to be shy and quiet and whatnot, but I mean, you could all say when everybody was there, it was like nonstop conversation. Everybody was, just down to party and stuff. So
it was like weebs at an anime convention. They are in their element.
It was something. I mean, like I said, we're talking about this again, but it was something else. You literally couldn't.
Well, I mean, it's technically a show.
If we're talking about shows, we got to start with Electronicon.
Today's topic is, I guess, URL shows, because I figure Pad just threw one. We've all been a part of them and all thrown one, and then we, as funny that I guess me, I don't know, haven't really decided about that, are about to throw one. So it's a URL show focused, just in case there's any ground there that hasn't been talked about to death. But Electronicon was the first that birthed we should play live. Kind of. I mean, I know some people would be like, no, I wanted to do it before, but we all know.
I don't mean to be the contrarian here, but I feel like it was a huge thing early on, and then it just sort of stopped.
Yeah, I've heard about Tiny Chat. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah,
but like SPF 420 is like
the
most notable before, way back then.
Like, because I feel like it just sort of stopped after one day. I mean, didn't Tiny Chat close down or something or didn't they get rid of or change how they work?
Nobody uses it anymore.
I didn't write this down, but this is actually a good point. The pre-2020 URL shows, like how far back for like, I guess we're all vaporwave. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, we had vapor.io, which wasn't necessarily, I feel like we did, I think I premiered an album on there once, which was like kind of like that. Like, I'm trying to think of how far back this goes.
Was Vapor.io the
Iacon run one?
Iacon, yeah, okay. But like, I mean, the earliest ones I remember were, I think the first one I ended up going to was the Fortune 500 on SPF 420 in like 2013.
The one
that was probably my first URL show. I knew there's earlier ones with SPF. I did a couple ones with Contact Lens. And
there's some SPF 420 sets that have artists who are like small at the time, that like Anamanaguchi and like Wave Racer. It's like, what? Crazy. It's pretty nuts.
That is crazy. When I found the scene in like 2017, and I feel like there was nothing.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything until like Vapor 95 did this one live show, and I feel like that was one of the first things after like quarantine started. And that's what I can remember. It was like one of the first like big, everyone's going there to.
Yeah. Who was the first new one? I guess first probably that.
Like first mainstay that's around now?
Yeah, like 2020, like COVID, time to do a probably like,
Well,
I'm just thinking Vapor Memory and like Vapor Space, like they had IRL roots.
Yeah. Virtual Memory also, right? The Pacific Plaza stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the ones that had IRL roots went online, which makes sense.
Out of necessity, and because it's kind of easier to reach people that way too. Like, not only because COVID, but also, there's a lot of international artists.
Yeah. Who don't get to watch because it's too early or late, or one or the other. I don't know.
No, I'm just. I feel like there was a whole stretch of time between like I'd say late 2015 to like 2019. 2018, where it just was like little to nothing online as far as live show. I feel like as soon as Vaporwave like started taking off, doing those sort of things, like there was just so much going on and so many different subsections that there wasn't enough people to, there were so many people in different parts, different sounds, different things at once that there wasn't a really way to market towards, the whole group. Where now it's a lot easier because, for as big as Vaporwave was back in like, 2014, 15, 16, I feel like it's gotten smaller since then, but it's gotten more, tight knit at that point. And everybody kind of knows who everybody is at this point, or it's getting to that point.
I think so.
And so it makes it easier to ask people, hey, you want to do this live thing? Oh, you want to do this?
It's true, especially with like Discord. Let's see. What?
We got a question from Daydream Deluxe. Have there been any IRL Vapor shows prior to 100 Electronicon and other festivals? Yeah, we were just touching upon those, like Vapor Memory. St. Louis.
St. Louis. I'm trying to think of a
Well, I know there's like specific artists who were out doing stuff, like Blank Energy was out doing stuff.
I saw Solo
stuff,
like
same.
20,
exactly.
Right. Young Bay. Right. Yeah, I saw him twice.
Right. I guess we're talking about more so.
Wait,
shows
he had that tour, right? Like the Future of Funk, which was like that was Future Funk, but that was real life.
That was before Econ. It had to be.
It had to be. Definitely was.
That was like January.
Really? Was it really 2020?
I went to one in New York where you jumped on the stage.
Yeah. That was a fun night. That was fun. That was a good time.
I was sitting at the back of that. It was at Elsewhere. It was in the main room. And I was there.
Oh my God, it was, yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
I was there to see Frank because he was playing for the first time with these.
Yep.
And I was in town, so I was like,
yeah, it was Frank, Aridus, Night Tempo was there, right?
Yep.
It was a nice lineup.
That's a good lineup, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Wow. That Elsewhere is a dope venue for the
to live
it's
at.
set up so well.
I would love to go do another Econ 3. Let's do there again.
I'd rather go elsewhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
Did any of you guys go to both Econ 1 and Econ 2?
Well,
Only one.
I did.
he played both. This fucking guy.
I will say this: Econ 1, the venue was like a million times better.
Mhm.
Econ 2, the venue, I mean, it was an all right venue, but to be completely honest, people working there weren't that great. It was more confusing, the layout, because it was it's from like the 70s, the place. So I mean, it's
Really,
it was originally like a disco hall.
What?
I think the biggest
what?
the was called the disco floor or some
Disgusting.
discotheque or something.
mm-hmm. That rocks.
Damn, if you did a collab with Tech Honors, Discotech.
Mm.
Wow,
Oh, that'd be good.
that'd be pretty cool, guys. All right, let's see. I do have stuff written down in case John ever runs out of things to say.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'll leave.
I wrote down just stuff off the top of my head. Where do you even start the idea? How do you even? What part of your brain just goes, "Let's do that"? Like,
right, the logistics.
Because I have, I have like I know how to stream, right? So at least I'm like, well, I know how to do this. But there's a lot of people who are like, I've actually taught a few people how to do it.
I still don't know what I'm doing.
You gave me the ropes. I mean,
yeah, I think like I think like Cat Corp hit me up that one for that Explore the North, Explore the Vapor crossover set. I remember he it was like, how do you do this? And I was like, oh, it's easy. And then he was like, do you want a set? And I was like, is this my payment for giving you a tutorial?
Yep. Pat, you said you didn't know what you're doing.
I still don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing.
See, that's
the block
thing.
part. It's a miracle. It's a miracle it worked because it was all off of just my laptop. And then you guys know like my audio issues with my streams. Like I still don't know what I'm doing. And I literally prayed the night before. I was like, just please. I was like so nervous that the whole block party was going to be fucked up and nothing was going to work. And it just somehow went right through. Like
I was going to say, you're a Mac guy, right?
Yeah.
They just put out like a ton of the new Macs and the new M1. Yeah. Pick up a Mac Mini, get a cheap monitor, and set up like
that new iMac. I think I'm going to get
new iMac. Yeah, I mean, I get something that you don't have to. Well, first of all, get some of that just in case your laptop breaks. You can actually use something.
Yeah, right now it sounds like it's going to explode. So
yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, if you're planning on doing stream more often and even YouTube stuff, I mean, it may be worth it to pick up like a desktop computer.
Yeah, at this point it definitely is because it's just discouraging. Just the rendering times, just Adobe always crashes. I was talking to James Webster today, and he was like, "Get the new iMac and jump to Final Cut." Because he was like, Premiere, like if you're gonna use it on that, it's not up to date or something.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about computers, so
if you want to, again, you're a Mac guy, so I get why you'd want to stick with Mac, but you also I would look into a PC.
I was gonna say
then again,
Vegas.
it's a lot more expensive.
Do you use Final? You use Premiere on a Mac?
I use Premiere on a Mac.
Interesting. I got no issue with that. I just think a lot of.
I thought that was more common.
Yeah, that's how I learned.
I don't know. I guess
I learned Premiere on a Mac.
I always think that people have Macs who use Final Cut. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, they either use Adobe or Apple Suite, like Final Cut Logic stuff. So
logical stuff.
I mean, like, I think what Pat was saying earlier about his computer being like a piece of crap is a good point to touch on, because like it was a miracle, but maybe it's more so just like the timing, the lineup, like the artists involved, the hosts involved.
I was gonna say, if you want to, I guess cannot jump ahead, but like, how for specifically the block party. So if you don't know, had randomly wanted to host the best URL show we've seen so far.
One of the best. One of the best.
I'll just say the best. I don't care.
It was a fun time.
And like, how far ahead did you think let's do this?
Ooh.
Pretty far ahead. It definitely was pretty far ahead. It was in June, and I think I first got the idea like before COVID started, I think. Maybe like January, February. I never got to it because it seems so just intimidating, the concept of doing it. Because like I said, I don't really know like how to properly run a stream, and then like how am I going to trigger all these videos to pop up at the right time and whatever. So I kept pushing it back. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump right in it. It's like the same thing with the record label. I had so many questions. And then after a while, I was like, just jump in and whatever. So then I started reaching out. And I think the one thing that worked at the block party the most, and this is something I always try to do on my channel with almost anything, like with the Fake Fever release, I think like just building hype goes so far.
Yeah.
Like making these almost like smash reveal, like
for
premieres or whatever. It makes it so much fun. We did it for Combo Champ. We did it for the block party. I did it for the Fake Fever drop.
Yeah.
So I think the energy from that, like once I put that out and then everyone was like, oh, let's fucking go and whatever. That like kind of also like boosted me up to be like, all right, let me just figure this out, do what I got to do. But what you were saying before, like the vaporwave scene is kind of condensing into this tight knit community. I don't know anything about it really before 2017, at least on a personal level with anybody.
Right.
But yeah, it's to the point now where it seems like people are. Hi, my girlfriend just came back from a run. Sorry. So it seems like it's at the point now where it's so like just tight knit and everyone's always willing to help each other out. Like any single person I asked for that, like, how do I run this? How do I do that? And like John knows firsthand with the label, like I reached out to so many people and it helped and it just got it through. So for anybody who wants to throw, these live festivals and like, I know like, all right, like I got the videos and I kind of built the platform up, but anyone can really do it. And people are doing it all over the scene. Like you're seeing these mini festivals pop up all the time. It's awesome to see, but yeah, I just think like just good energy, build a lot of hype around it, make people feel good. And then just naturally that good energy is going to somehow make your audio not fuck up.
There's always a thing when I used to be in band at high school, there's always like this aura of like, if you're fucking up for some reason during the performance, it'll just work. Like if you suck during this part, or like, oh, there's a part that like the girl who plays French horn can never hit, only sometimes for some reason during the performance she'll nail it. This is kind of a weird. I don't know. This is relatable.
I think that's the performance in general.
Yeah, it's just like you'll just nail it. It's like the opposite of Murphy's Law almost. It's like you'll nail it.
Remember, didn't something crazy happen to you at the Econ after party, Randy? Didn't like something fuck up?
Oh yeah, literally.
It went over perfectly.
Like my hat fell off and it hit the loop button, so it went brrrr, and then literally as I release it, like the drop of the song, so it was like almost like a perfect build up.
You play it off. It was a Death's Dynamic Shroud remix. You play it off.
It was great. It was pretty fucking nuts. But like, how do you start contacting? Like, you have all these, like I said, you know all these people from just existing positively.
And well, you also got to think, Pat Chanton over here, he's a pretty.
That's what I mean.
Pat Chanton is,
That's what I mean.
Pat Chanton comes up to you and says, "Yo, give me $5." You're gonna give him $5.
You're gonna give it to him.
No, I just, it was a mix of like people I knew that I was like good friends with in the scene, and then just things that would throw a wrench in everything and just make a whole lineup of different styles too. Because I think that lineup really was all over the place. And before that, like the Vapor 95 show, I remember that I did, it was like primarily future funk artists. And then there was other things. It was like primarily like classic vaporwave or whatever. And this one I was like, no, we're going to throw everybody into one big thing. And I think like the 2 stages helped.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. The 2 stages thing was wild. I was actually like, I felt like I was like, interesting.
Yeah. I like that.
I got it. Part of me was sort of like, oh, this is great, but also I only have to spend one day at this thing. But
all the VODs exist.
True.
It's kind of,
you know what?
It kind of emulates like this 2-stage vibe.
Yeah.
Like literally 2 different channels, 2 different stages. I think it was cool.
It was a competition. Guess what 2 idiots.
It was like this healthy. I wanted to kind of build this vibe where it was like one team against another team, and it's like you got to represent your team, and it made it fun. And like there was people, I was getting pictures of people like on their TV, they had one stage. And
I had both open,
you know, and that's how I wanted it to unfold, and it worked out. Like I said, just miracle in a way because it just worked out. I don't know.
It's funny enough. Me and Disco were on at the same time on different stages.
Were you really?
Yeah, and that's
where we.
Funny enough, like I said, we should probably definitely mention that, but like literally, this show is because of Block Party, because you emulated the green room in the Discord.
Yeah, we were just chilling the whole time. It was great.
I remember afterwards, there was like 12 people.
Tons of people. That was so much fun. Like legit, it was the closest to a real event. Any of these events. That's why I keep saying it's the best, because I've never been part of one such like. We've had some hangout sessions, but like, man, that green room was like a legit green room.
Yeah, it was fun. The whole day was fun. It was a lot of fun.
People coming in and out. There's so many people I talked to for the first time, being Disco, literally first time.
That's crazy.
And then I messaged you on Twitter asking about the Sonic CD US versus Japanese soundtrack, but we never really talked.
No.
Yeah, that was, man. I gotta thank Pat for. I think having a green room, like emulating, 2 stages, having like theming for the whole thing, Southpaw, and what was the other stage?
It was Uppercut.
Uppercut, yeah, like your signature, kind of boxing branding, and the Block Party vibe.
Yeah, it was fun, and that green room thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, it made it even more like that real life event. Everyone hanging out.
Because you could hang out in the chat audience, then you could go pop in the green room, just like
the real chat,
right? Homies, everybody on fucking camera. So many people, like 16 people.
It was great.
God, I stayed up probably till like 5 a.m. Like I remember, I think
we were in there for a lot of hours.
Skeleton Lipstick. I was probably there from when we started. At like 11 a.m. till 5 a.m. I remember, like, I think Skeleton was in and out, and he like popped back in at like 4 a.m. Like, what's everyone still doing here? Like, it was still full.
He just pops his like, Vaporwave is the new punk, guys. Come on, go to bed.
Go to bed. It was.
I had like an almost like adrenaline rush, like towards the end of it. Like it really felt like I was at a show, because when you get out of a show, you're like amped up.
That was an aspect I have written down. Where I was like, why does it feel real?
It was weird. And when at the end, because the Southpaw stage ended earlier than the Uppercut, which I was running, and I just saw everyone like pop in, and then at the bottom it hit like 550 or 560 people at one time. And it was I couldn't believe it. So like once I clicked that end button, I was like, because if you go to a show in the city, it doesn't end after the show. Like you're gonna go somewhere, whatever you're gonna do, and it felt like that. Like I really wanted to just do something, and it was great. It was a good time, and I'm thankful for like all you guys, like just getting those sets in, helping me out, send it up, like
so I was gonna say, like, dealing with artists in this scene, like everyone procrastinates. I'm just thinking like that's how many artists do you think were on that lineup?
I think it was 16 and 16 or 13 and 13.
Yeah, I think that's
it was not 16 and 16. I think it was 13 and 13.
It was big.
And it lasted over 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
Because you had like full sets. Like I think my set's like 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, they were long. They were longer.
Who not to call anybody out, but who cut you their set last? Like that day.
I'll tell you guys. I don't care. I'll tell you guys. It was either Ryan. It was either St. Pepsi, or
I think I was
somebody submitted it. Literally like 2 hours before it started.
What?
And like, I am not good with computers. So then I'm like, fuck, I gotta go like reorganize all my folders now, and I gotta test everything again. But it worked. It just somehow worked. Like I don't remember ever like freezing or people telling me my audio was bad. Like it just worked out. And I gotta give like a huge thank you to Vapor Memory and Private Suite. I couldn't have done it without them either.
Yeah.
So
super cool. That was a cool like having almost like a sponsor weirdly like on board hosting like the other half. It was super sick. So Pacific Plaza in the chat talks about the green room seems to be the reason why we had the cool green room during the DMT Fest. I think so. I mean, that's why I hung out there, because I think every time if I'm part of a festival, usually I'll try to like kind of fish in the Discord, like everybody come hang out with me because it's fun. It's fun to watch.
You're watching a show or you're listening to a show, because I mean, like it's not like you're watching a movie. There's not like a plot you need to follow where you just gotta let everybody shut up, you know. But like, I mean, you're listening to music, you're watching some visuals. I mean, it's fun. It's just you're just chilling out, you're having a great time, and you get to chat with some people you probably wouldn't have. You know?
We might already have this written down. Randy might already have this written down, but I kind of wanted to touch on like how, like, what was your mindset when picking out the artists for the fest and the timing and the time slots and everything?
Yeah, well, so like I said before, it's pretty much a mix of like people I knew, like good friends in the scene, and people I knew who were like reliable. Because like Randy said, like not to put anyone down, but sometimes it's hard to find a lot of people that are just like they want to work at, like they just want to get in.
That's what you give them 3 months, and they'll do it in the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it was like a mix of that, like knowing like which people to pick up right away, and then just like throwing a curveball and just saying, you know. Like I'm trying to think of the lineup now, like someone that, groceries, for example.
Right.
Like I don't think that dude was doing anything under the groceries alias for a while at that point. And I was like, hey, like I think it would be so cool because for that reveal trailer, I wanted to just throw the lineup out. You know, nothing against anyone who's in that beginning lineup, but then I wanted to do like the big reveals, and I was like, I could totally, you know, throw your name in there, and people would be like, that's
crazy.
So,
which is funny now. Because that's the first time I met him too, and it's like I feel like I talk to him a lot more frequently.
Dude. Such a nice dude.
Super cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
I don't think I've met a single person in that green room besides Skeleton Lipstick who would not stop talking about punk.
Skeleton, he's the best.
We love Skeleton. I'm kidding.
I love that guy.
Joking. I am joking.
Yeah,
but I don't even met somebody like nobody in there was, you know, bad. Nobody in there was, you know, annoying.
Yeah, it's true. I agree.
It was great.
It's my first real connection to the vaporwave scene. Like if Pat didn't invite me there, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know where
I don't know who I don't know where I am.
Cotton Eye Joe.
I don't know where I am.
I feel like you need a good variety of artists is a great way to like, you know, have a URL fest, because if you have a lot of people who kind of sound alike, or it just gets monotonous.
I think so too. I think I've definitely learned that because a lot of people will theme it, and I do think it's just like give or take any of these, it all kind of sounded the same. You know, like I could tune in beginning at the end. I didn't really care.
I feel like it's essential to strike a balance between like having artists that kind of fit the theme versus having a good amount of variety. I think Vapor Space Channel Surf was, well, I performed in it. But it was a really nice theme because like it was like kind of this like TV, like these channel surfing, and like I think everyone did their best to fit the vibe in their
theme shows is the future. I think we got a big one coming up. That's why we're doing the 3D Blast is Over party,
right?
Which is super fun. I'm lucky enough to know people who are like throwing skits in. They're like really playing along. And that's why you're talking about like contacting people to fucking like you know, oh, I need these guys and these guys. I literally was like, I don't want any stress. I don't want anyone sending me shit the day of. I'm only talking to people I know. I'm not talking to any artists I like. I'm just talking to people I know. No, but you know what I mean? It's like people I trust, and that's it. That's why, at least for the first one. So
are we gonna cancel you again?
Who knows? Maybe we'll cancel maybe we'll cancel someone else next year. Do a little.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Yeah, exactly. Now it's on board.
Oh no.
Calcium Demos says one of my favorite things with shows is ads, like at Flamingo Fest. Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about like maybe the future of URL Fest is like having more variety of content instead of like straight up, you know, sets and set after set.
Well,
like
I'll tell you, like
ads or skits or commercials and stuff.
I said the
interviews.
The Over party definitely is gonna, like, it has sets and it's got a lot of skits. I just got a skit from somebody today that's just like full skits. And it's like I think half the people didn't even do music stuff. It was just all skits. I was gonna bring that up later, but I was thinking, or we can do it now. But like, what were some of the innovations you saw? Like, who did stuff that you were like, ooh, that's cool. That's interesting.
Nano is the first person.
Not necessarily sets, but that's true. You can cover that too. But I was also thinking of just like the production of the show itself.
Like running the festival itself?
Yeah, I was thinking the 2-stage setup, interviews being one, which John did first.
I remember that.
And,
well, speaking of interviews, you know, that Business Casual Anniversary 8 show was coming up in May. So keep an eye out for that too.
No.
Hey, you know, I could try.
I mean,
you know, maybe City Blast won't be performing at that.
Hey,
one.
You know, my name's pretty big, but it's not first.
One less thing, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, but like, shit. I had where was I going? The double setup, the fucking interviews,
like the sort of like
innovations.
Innovations.
The DMT set had those bumpers that were like themed. They were all like new Vito aliases. I'm trying to think of other shows that were like. They really did something special. Well, I would say the VR element of the 100%
yes!
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. I think like the experiences we have, like Pad's Black Party already does so much to replicate the actual IRL Fest experience. I think the next level of that would be to have everything in VR, and you literally look around and it's like you're really there, but you're not.
Yeah. Pacific Plaza says that they did the Halloween show where DJs played with other DJs. I've done that in real life. There's a Devil's Night party here in Detroit that I played, and I played as Giorgio Moroder. And my hair dyed gray mustache.
Dressed up as like somebody else.
And then played a whole set as his music. Yep.
Damn. Oh, okay. Halloween. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was cool.
Click on the 24 track.
Yeah, I did play that song.
Nice. I think just the simple things of like adding like a helpful kind of overlay to see who's playing next, who's playing now.
The wave pool, the way you guys did that looked so pretty.
Yeah,
like just so clean looking.
And because like
sweet.
We've seen a lot of like we were looking at a lot of other fests, and they're like a lot of people in the chat are like, oh, who's playing? Oh, did I just miss this person? Oh, when's this person coming on? And so we had like, you know, I think Pat also had like the timetable between sets, so you know, just little informational things to help out the audience.
Yeah,
even like a little scroll thing at the bottom of the screen, I mean, works. You know,
the number one thing I think a lot of performers should do is watermark their sets. Like you have to add somewhere that says your name. I think because
I feel like unless it's like, you know, unless if it's like just like, you know, like just squiggly lines and visuals like that, yeah, you should watermark it. But if it's you and you have if you have something at the bottom of the screen that says, or like on the side that says who's playing right now, I mean, I feel like it's a bit overkill, in my opinion.
If you have that, then sure. But yeah, I think I've seen a lot more that don't. And it's just like who's playing, and I'm like, oh. And sometimes technical difficulties happen. Some of the schedule gets off, and you're like, well, who's actually playing? I have no idea. And honestly, sometimes
one of my favorite things to do is hop into these like online festivals and just write, "Is this Telepath?" on anybody.
I know.
Is this same Pepsi? I do it all the time.
Seth Nova has this thing where he always comes in. No matter every time I played a set, I see him in the chat for URL shows. He always just goes, "Play Plastic Love." Every time, and I literally was like, I need to throw it in the set once just for him.
Seth Nova's cool.
He's super cool. Play Plastic Love. Let's see what I got here.
That I was gonna say that's like the equivalent.
Oh, the free Play Plastic Love. I already covered like who do you ask, I guess. I don't know. Is there anybody? Is there anybody? You know what?
Yes.
Let's just go offline.
See you guys.
Shut it off.
I'm trying to think. I don't necessarily want to ask like, oh, who's the biggest guy you got? Because I don't want to throw people under the bus or.
What? Wasn't it like say Pepsi though?
Well, yeah, that's going to be the answer.
Throwing everyone else out.
I'm trying to think.
It's just, you know what? Like if you just have that same Pepsi name on there, like there was a huge spike. Like him specifically.
Oh yeah.
When he said was about to go on, it jumped from like 250 to like 340 in like 5 minutes after I posted on Twitter. Like it's just
It's also in line with him like coming back as Saint Pepsi, you know? Like he's Skylar Spence, and now he's like Saint Pepsi again. You're like, is this allowed?
Yeah, I think that's another great thing about URL shows. Like you touched upon it with like groceries and how he was kind of inactive for a while. It's a great way to like be in line to add to like an artist's career to either revitalize something. Or, you know,
I forgot who did the Lux Elite, like when Luxury Elite surprised everybody.
That was I think that was SPF 420, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think that was just like a launch party. I think this is recent, right? Where Lux just dropped.
Might have been Rosewood.
Yeah, something like that.
This year.
I don't remember. I know I missed it. Honestly, I'll be real. I know I didn't see it, which sucked.
Because the thing is, like, I was invited to play on that, but I was like,
I think that was an album launch. I don't know. I don't know if she played though. Somebody in chat. I'm sure someone was there.
Well, Skeleton's I know I got asked, and the reason why I said no was because they made it seem like I had to legitimately play live, like they used to do back in SPF 420, back in like 2013. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm equipped to do that in like a week and a half. So I said no, and I'm kicking myself for not doing it because clearly other people didn't do it like that, and I could have just done my, by signature thing, and I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't do that because that would have been cool.
Do those take you a long time? Because you have a lot of images that pop up.
It's taken it. The longest part of it really is just getting it all in the timeline, and sometimes just getting the order of them just right. And you're just syncing up on a beat or syncing up on a, on whatever the thing is. I mean, I've got a ton of images. I just, put them in the timeline. That's it. It's really not that hard.
It's really easy, and it sucks.
Yep,
No, see, the thing is that, like, there's some of the, honestly, they are some of the best, like, the vision, I don't know, it's like, no one does it like that. Everyone just wants to edit something behind to something, but then there's John. Pure white screen and a meme.
I went to film school, so...
That's why it's so filmed so well.
You're going to say something else?
I was going to say, when it comes to visuals, at least, I feel like if it's just going to be the same loop of like a bunch of GIFs for 45 minutes, I mean, what's the point at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, you really got to go all out.
I wish I should.
I mean, like somebody like Disco over here. I mean,
I should.
I say that, and then like we have Disco over here, fucking just.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of like people's, I wrote this down. Who are some of the favorite sets? I know, like, Pad mentioned Disco, or not Disco, sorry, Nano.
What?
I wrote down some of your favorite sets, and then challenge mode, you're not allowed to say Discoholic.
You're not allowed to say Disco.
Oh, that's easy.
I'll give it disclaimer. Like, I do have a lot of respect for your sets, Disco. They're very good. Like, editing and the camera angles, like, you put a lot of time into those sets. Okay, I thought
you lost challenge mode.
I thought I spent a lot of time. I was talking to Fake Fever about it, and I was telling him like, like it takes me, if I'm working on a set like for 3 hours and I got to redo it twice, like I'm just so frustrated. And he was telling me he spends like weeks making his with the visuals and like I just go in Premiere Pro, throw the Ultra key, whatever, and it looks awful. It's so bad, but I just whatever. But I mean, favorite sets, right? The ones that I think of right away is the Runners Club 95 set.
That was the one that was, it was back and forth. It was Donor Lens and Runners Club. And I had them both on.
That's another one I was going to say. Like that was, I wish I kind of separated them a little bit because they were so similar. Like they were so similar. And I don't know, I feel like they could have breathed better if they were separated, but
they were awesome regardless.
Yeah. So Runners Club, I would say, let me think.
I wrote down, the Steviosphere one that came out of nowhere that was all animated.
And just, that was great.
Yeah, and then I wrote down
your infomercial,
There's a Dan, I mean, it's the Rosewood set with Dan where he like started remixing all of his old stuff, and which was pretty as just forget that we're friends. I'm a fan, and that was like, whoa, that was sick. And then of course I wrote down Wiz because he's
yes.
Everybody loves him.
he makes epics. He makes feature films.
Stories.
I love that.
He's been sending me clips of what he's editing for the upcoming show, and he keeps just saying like, "I got 6 minutes done," and I'm like, "God, don't." Like,
what?
Exactly. I'm like, what are you
Man.
doing so much editing?
I'm sending mine in soon. I don't know, like if my house flooded. I don't know if like you guys knew that the first floor of my house.
Yeah.
It's been a mess, but I finally, now that it's all emptied out and like it looks like a construction zone down there, I actually have a place to put the green screen because there's nothing there anymore. So I could finally like I have the set list ready. I got the skit done.
Nice.
It's gonna be good.
See, I know, like I said, I was doing this show as it'll be fun. I think it's a fun idea, and I just wanted my friends to do stuff. And then, unfortunately, all my friends are crazy good. So I wanted it to be like an easy, like just do just a fun thing. And then everyone was like, no, I made skits in a set, and John had dressed up in costumes, bought stuff, props. Like,
well, the thing is, I feel like I hate to say it, Randy. We love you, Randy, man. Come on. We're not gonna just put 2 dimes together and then call that a.
I literally wanted it to be like 10 people with like 15-minute sets, and now Nano is. I don't even want to say it because
Dude, that is out of control.
Out of control. I asked him.
Wait a second. Oh, okay.
I know what he's doing because I had to record voice lines for it.
I'm making a commercial for it. I've been working closely with him.
I asked him. Wow. I asked him how much money he spent, and he was like, "Do you really want me to tell you?" And I was like, "You know what? No, I don't want to know."
Dude, I was just thinking,
it'll be worth it. I hope.
He's got people on Fiverr, sprite artists, voice actors.
Yes.
Oh my fucking god.
He's hiring people for this. He's not fucking around.
He's not fucking around. I mean, guys, you cannot miss the 3D Blast is Over party next Friday. Cannot miss that. That shit is gonna be crazy.
Absolutely not.
Speaking of innovation, I think I've never seen a URL fest in this scene that's basically a roast session, and I love that. You are the perfect person to.
I mean, I'm never, like I said, there's all these people in the scene that are all like, peace and love, man. I'm just like, no, jealousy and frustration. That's like, fuck that. That's me. You know me. I have, I'm just me.
We love DDS, but we're just not DDS. I'm sorry. A virtual
Utopia experience.
Utopia experience.
Oh yeah, Enreal's at work. He said he wanted to take off work to watch the show. Went to the bathroom at work to say that every DDS set has been mind blowing, and Nano Shrine owns. Yes. Yes, that's true. The reason DDS, I saw them live at Econ and then again at the after party. It was like a big inspiration. Just in general, just live and just specifically live.
You saw him at the first one, right? On the roof?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was where the cool people are at. Everybody else went to St. Pepsi and George Clan. And was like,
I did see both. I did start at DDS and I had to see St. Pepsi, but so I didn't watch it all, but I did watch it later. Plus meeting both of them, 2 of the 3, I guess, and them being just like the coolest guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I remember just sitting out in the behind the green room. There was like an outdoor patio, and I was just sitting out there in the chair. Nobody else is out there because everybody's at like say Pepsi or DDS. I was just listening to DDS because they're on the roof, and I'm just like, you can hear it. It's great. Love that.
I kind of wanted to touch on this. I think it's interesting that a lot of URL shows have pre-recorded sets, which is interesting because like there are some specific shows that I've seen that have everything done live. And I feel like there are advantages and kind of disadvantages of both formats.
See, here's something I like, and sorry to interrupt, but I've done the Picari Sweat, and what they've done is kind of a mix of both. So they use like pre-recorded sets to like set up the live sets, kind of. So it's a good idea. I've played them a few times, and all my sets have been live. But it is really fun to type in chat like as it happens.
Right.
And to fuck up live and be like, get on mic and be like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the live sets are great for like, you know, audience and artist interaction. And also to kind of recreate, you know, going further the IRL show kind of feel. It's literally live instead of watching, you know, a video somebody made a couple weeks ago or something. But like there are benefits to like, you know, the pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah,
like
when it comes to technical
it's certainly
stuff.
It's certainly technically easier to put on. It gives more opportunities for people to do not necessarily like live things. Like for example, what Wiz does is make full on feature films or something, or you know, Stevia Sphere makes like infomercial straight up. So I think that's really cool, but it does come across as like more you're coming there to like watch like a live YouTube premiere of a video.
Yeah, so, I think as the artist, and this all segues perfectly into the next thing I was talking about, playing these as an artist, not as an organizer, but I think personally, I think it's like your job to try to simulate some sort of live aspect. In a way, I think there are people who don't, but I do think that's very important. At least that's how I've always tackled it. Doing it live is part of it. For me, and I think all three of us DJ, and then John does his thing. But then Nrail brought up, you guys feel like you have sets that you won't be able to top / exceed. I'll never be able to top doing a set on an airplane. That sounds sick.
I feel like
not
necessarily topping things, but doing something different every time.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you play your music. And then you could do another one in a week, and you're like, well, do I play that music again?
Right.
That's the problem I was having last summer, because I kept doing these things, and it got to a point where like, since they're all online, and everybody who's seen the last one will probably see the next one. It's not like you play in New York and you play in LA, you play the same songs because the chances are you're not going to have the same crew.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a little bit harder to diversify your soundtrack, your playlist.
Part of me, when I put together my set for Pad, I remember thinking, well, it's got to be different, and so I'm gonna pull like crazy tracks, songs that aren't mine. And I remember kind of looking back and going, I should have played my fucking hits. like not that I didn't, not that I think I didn't deliver anything, not that I slacked, but it was just kind of like. That was the show I should have played the hits at.
I think what helps in creating like a unique experience, even for pre-recorded sets, is like having some sort of live element. Like Pacific Plaza said, I agree. That's why Virtual Memory has had live visuals, even if we can't have like performed music. Like I run like a live hotline, like every time my sets play, so there's some interaction with the audience.
Yeah, well, even without doing this, or without, if we can cap that topic, but just as a performer, like, what's it like, I guess, like, I'm trying to think, if anyone was wondering what it's like to be a guy in the URL show, you basically get contacted by the organizer, and then you record.
You get abducted.
I think the funniest part is, like, everyone's setups at home. Like, and
like some people, like, to be completely honest, when like I ask somebody to do something, I try to you can either do like a live cam if you got like the mixing stuff, but if you don't, you just put your logo on something, add a cool background. If you want to do something more visual than that, go ahead. I mean, because to be completely honest, a lot of people in the scene don't necessarily have the physical equipment.
No, exactly.
A lot of people still work, like, I work 99%, 95% in the dog. I have a MIDI keyboard, but that's about it,
Randy, you said it best on the Malo 360 podcast when you were talking about those shows, and you were saying how, I think you guys were talking about, like, once the in real life sets, like, start picking up again, will the URL sets, like, die out? And you were saying you don't want that to happen because there's just that benefit to people who, like I'm like a loud, obnoxious, like, asshole when I play live. Like, I just go crazy, and and it works for me. Like, that's my thing. But there are people like maybe they're more shy, or like John was just saying, they don't have the right equipment and whatnot. So yeah, it's
like I'm thinking about like the telepath sets or the low key sets that, no offense, but like, would those go over well live? I don't know. Will 300 people go see that live, or will 300 people tune in on a stream and like vibe out at home? Like, is that
location? If you're in, I don't know, Brazil or something, and you're not going to be able to perform in New York or something like that. These URL they're great.
They're nice, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's great to talk about like the bridge between IRL and URL and vice versa. Because I agree with Randy. I hope they don't go away. They have a special place.
I don't think they'll go away.
A lot of people think that like URL shows are out of necessity because of COVID. Like it's a temporary thing. It's not. I mean, it's clearly not. You've seen tiny chat shows with SPF 420 like before any of that.
We saw shows in Fortnite and in Minecraft.
I wonder if you'll see less of them.
We probably will. But here's what we'll also see. That's why I think like people are kind of like they don't get. Maybe it'll take a while for them to get it, but you're gonna start to see less, and we kind of already have. But then those live shows, they don't come back. People realize that like Econ was a very magical moment, and I'm not saying anybody like nobody can capture that, but I am saying I think it's gonna hit people when they do a live set, and you're like, oh right, I don't think anybody in town knows who I am. But 1,000 people across the internet do.
Exactly.
That honestly, and I'm sorry for putting that out to other people. If I think you're bad, that's me. That's how I would feel. Because if I threw a show right now, I'd go, "Oh yeah, nobody gives a fuck."
I guess it also matters where you are in the world.
That's just it. Yeah.
I my first show. I mean, I talked about this the other day. Nobody showed up to my first show.
Yeah.
Nobody. Zero.
Calcium Demo talked about. Calcium Demo says, I think without URL shows, we wouldn't have had Latin All Stars. I was going to mention that. That was one of the that's one of the biggest fests that come in recent memory. Probably one of the biggest, next to what was it, Villain or something?
Villain,
the 24-hour one.
Enter the Void. Yeah. Huge stuff. Yeah, I think a lot of people who previously never played IRL before, but they've played a lot of URL. I think that's a great, that's a great opportunity to, make you more likely to play an IRL show because you've already made these connections online. Like, chances are, if you're playing an IRL show, it's a lot of people who have watched you. Like the people who hosting you have probably watched you grow in URL shows, and I think it's just like IRL shows are a great way for URL fest artists to kind of move on to another thing, to the next thing, perhaps.
Skelly says that that's why it's decided to throw a party. Easier to sell a party than a show to people who don't know Vaporwave. You basically have to lie to people. No, but I agree. You're right, and that's why I think like terminally chill is a success. Is because like,
dude, that thing was popping when we were there. Oh my god,
maybe that's the play. Maybe more people should take after that and just host like I don't even know.
Well, there's also, at least for a long time in the scene, because it's still to many of us it feels like it's so big because we're so involved in it.
Yeah,
like the Vaporwave scene seems so real and so big, but when you really step back, like if somebody on Twitter makes there was that tweet that was like, I miss Vaporwave. Someone tweeted that, like a verified account.
Yeah,
and like
ContraPoints.
All the comments were genuinely like, "Oh, I miss those times too." Like people really don't know about it still, that it still exists.
Well, I think a lot of people remember it as a meme. It was never a music genre. It was Sunday school, or it was Macintosh plus 420. I mean, it wasn't a genre. It wasn't anything more than that, because a lot of people, the only people who really people who looked further than that because they liked it are the people that we know today. I mean, those people, they were never fans of the genre. They just saw that one aesthetic meme on Facebook, and that was
right. It. Yeah, I think that's helped by the fact that people more so see it as like an artistic movement rather than a sonic movement, because all they know is like, I don't know, like Home Resonance, Floral Shot, and that's pretty much it. Like,
even though I hate to say it, but you know, for a lot of people, apparently, the Simpson wave was a fucking huge thing. I never realized because you know I was already in it, so I didn't really see it. I just thought it would look stupid. I mean, it just was. It was a little bit lame in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think for those kind of people, Skeleton Lipstick's got a great point. You got to market that shit as like a party instead of like a show because you're more likely people.
That's the thing. That's where a lot of the people. That's why, like I said, keep the URL shows because a lot of those these people aren't party people. You can't. I mean, do you throw Christ on at a party? Maybe if it's like a children's birthday party, they probably already own the album. But
I'll believe you know. I mean, they ain't staying for that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like
that's a great distinction. URL for people who don't party, IRL for people who do.
Yeah. Let's get the bad people, stay them online, and the good. No,
I just want to chill on my chair. I just want to sit down, put my headphones, and just watch some crazy shit online.
It is true. I think I'm in this weird Venn diagram where I'm very much like, I'll go fucking hang out, especially if it's vaporwave party. Let's go. Then I'm also this guy who's like, I'll vibe at home too, comfortably.
I just want to be around the thing that was so great about Electronicon was not the music or the show. It was getting to see everybody in one.
Yes.
That's what I got. That's the great part of it I got out of it.
Seeing so many motherfuckers in these kind of shirts, man. Oh.
Yeah. You and Fiverr came with those like Hawaiian button down. Like it was like Hawaiian printed on, but
yes, dude.
And then I'm just that image you drew of Fiverr as the fucking
the boss from The Incredibles, yeah.
That Fiverr picture is so funny. Well, on our way out of here, last half hour, I guess. I've written down, what do you do after it? Why does it always feel like you're exhausted, even if you don't play it?
We're on a fucking show.
My eyes hurt after it. Like it's just it's bad.
The music's so bad. Like, my eyes.
What happens is it's a mix of like the show's over, and then you kind of like I said, there's that adrenaline that's still somehow, even though you're looking at a computer, like you get this adrenaline from it, and you're like you don't even know what to do. So like I'll make like a peanut butter sandwich or something, like eat something. I don't know what to do. I like there's that like Narcos meme where like he's like staring at things. You know what I'm talking about? Where he's just, like,
sitting there. Yeah,
that's me after those things. I just don't know what to do. And that's it. And then I wake up like the next morning and you'll see like the tweets of everyone's like, oh, and that's what makes it really awesome too, is when you see everyone like, it was so awesome that I was able to do this and I was able to watch this person and whatnot. So, but it knocks you out. And I'm sure
really
that Disco, that with you guys did like a 2-day festival, right?
Wave pool?
Wasn't it like 2 days?
Saturday, yes. Sunday? Holy shit.
So
yeah.
I don't know how you did the second day. I would have never been able to do the second day.
Just having.
I don't know how Fiverr did, to be completely honest.
Oh, he barely could. I remember at the after party, I was like, yeah.
You become like exhausted to talk to someone after a while. Like I remember the block party. We did, I think, half-an-hour breaks. That was the one thing I learned that was way too long. The half-an-hour breaks between each set, because after like 15 minutes of talking to someone, and I love everybody. I love absolutely everybody. But
I know
when it's like 9 hours into the festival, I had nothing to talk about. And it was just like pulling teeth. It was bad. But that's another thing. You get tired after.
Yeah. I think it's best to keep those like, short. Like that's why it's like, man, long ass festivals. It's like an Iron Man. You're just like going, it's like,
oh man,
12 to 12 hours. That's nuts. I can't believe what's I said. It's even more nuts that I like sat there and watched it all, and then
this seems to be really proud too. Because if you remember 2020, that summer, there was like 12-hour festivals. It felt like every weekend. It was just always these long ass festivals all the time.
I do think we have settled down to where we're like, 4 hours, 8 to 1 or whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, like
summer.
It's not like everybody was doing anything. They weren't allowed to go outside. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
right, yeah.
I wasn't working for a chunk of time. During the block party, I don't remember if I was working yet, but yeah.
Like trying to think the after. It really does. Like, you feel nervous before for some reason. I'm always
Oh my god. Oh, I feel that so hard.
And I know it's like I know I don't mess up. I recorded it twice because I messed up the first time, so I know I didn't edit that one.
Dude, I get virtual stage fright. Like my stomach still. Oh man.
I stare at the chat like this.
I gotta like stand up when I watch myself. Like,
yeah, it's nerves. I mean, I don't know about the other guys, but it's weird.
No, it is. I agree.
I don't know. It feels like I'm playing.
Yeah, exactly. So many parallels to real shows, and I think that's a hallmark of the success of these kind of things.
It's pretty fun.
It's just to hope that goes over well, and that like you don't get somebody in chat. It's like, wow, that sucked.
Wow,
you suck.
My favorite thing is seeing people who are like, "Holy shit, the transitions!" And I'm like, is that not the bare minimum of what I'm supposed to be doing? I appreciate the comments, but I always laugh at those. I'm always just like, isn't that
good transitions?
Well, let's hope. Let's hope they're good.
Well, if they're saying, wow, the transitions, then we gotta assume that they think they're good.
Oh, that's another advantage of live shows. You can actually read the room. Because like with
that would never affect my playlist. I would be like, fuck off, I'm playing my music, bitch.
Skeleton Lipstick said it's definitely nerves, particularly because you can't alter anything at that point. Exactly.
True.
You can't if the audience hates it, you can't just like switch it up live.
Right.
You just gotta sit through the whole thing or worse, leave.
That's why like Skeleton, you throw the party, you gotta read the room. But if you throw a Vaporwave show, even if no one shows up, at least you know they're there to see Vaporwave, and you can play.
Get away with it a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, read the room. That's the one thing about selling it as a party. You're gonna have to do that, which I can't. But
yeah, me neither.
I said can.
Me too.
Hashtag me
I can
too.
literally mix forever. I have mixed for like 4 hours before.
Oh man, I tried mixing for 3 hours on the fly once, and it was fun.
It's called having a lot of young bay.
Question.
Mixing house is so easy.
Yes. I got a question for you, Pat. Now, when you're DJing, did you have like what got you into DJing in the first place? Is this just in the past couple years since you discovered Vaporwave that you started doing this, or is this something you're doing years before?
Back then in high school, I just did like the virtual DJ on my laptop, and like I was like, I'm so cool because I like DJ, a high school party, whatever. But I didn't like do anything with actual equipment. And then I don't know, I started Pad in like 2017, and then ever since, like if there's something that I haven't done, I always want to do it, and I just do it. So like DJing was one of those things. I saw it. The one show that really hit it for me was there was a 100% Electronica show in Brooklyn, and like I've seen videos of George live. I don't know if have you ever seen?
I've seen George live,
yeah.
And it was nuts. Like the dude, like shirts ripped off. He was bleeding.
People are like expecting the Esprit sets, probably.
Yeah.
But then
this is like nuts. So
it was a great show.
I knew right there. I was like, I want to, do something. But before that, I didn't want to just play other people's music because I didn't make anything yet. So then I was like, all right, I need to do so. I need to make something. So at least I have some of my own material too. So then I made Contrast, and then is when I really started to like learn the DJing stuff. And for a long time, I just watched like tutorials how to do it online, whatever. And then I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to find my own style with it. And I play the drums. Like I haven't in years, but I thought like, what if I translate that into this? Like, cause I know that, but I don't know this. So then I started treating like the chops. Like, I just stutter chop every fucking set.
Oh, dude. You have,
so like I treat it like a drum set is what I try to do. And yeah, that's how that all started. It was like, I guess like just drumming and like trying to translate.
RX2 your first controller?
Yeah, that's my first controller.
Yeah, that's an investment.
I dove in. Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's a great.
It was risky. It was risky. I still don't think it really. I mean, I played a couple of live shows at this point, but I still don't think I've made the money back.
Oh, I don't even think I have. I think I'm going to buy another thing before I even make that money back. I think.
A Didon?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna probably do it next week, but.
Wait, what do you upgrade to, eh?
Oh, because part of the surprise. What? It's the Prime Go. I really like the small thing. I love the small thing, and I realized as awesome as the RX is for all-in-one, it's a great home system if you play at clubs and stuff. But for someone who has to travel, it is a fucking case. And
It's
going to Chicago after Electronicon. Luckily, I got to use yours set up in New York, Pad. But I had to lug mine around Chicago. And I remember like asking my friend Icy, I was staying with, I was like, well, how do we get here and here? And they're like, oh, we can take the train or the whatever. And I'm like, no, I have to Uber. I have to Lyft, you know? Like, there's no way I can take this thing 45 minutes. Like, so that's why that's what I'm trying to avoid. And I'm trying to get it now, so when we do open back up, I'll know what I'm doing.
Dude, you set the Denon DJ Prime Go?
Mm-hmm.
Aww,
beautiful,
it's so small.
Little tiny boy. It has a battery. It also records sets onto it. It's an all-in-one. Wow. It's so tiny. I want to put it on my setup and then get a green screen cloth. So instead of my basement, it can be facing down, and it's like me, like yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That's be better.
It looks like you got to use a pair of pliers to make transitions or something.
They're not that small.
I know.
It's weird that the EQ is sideways and not up. Like, you know, like EQ is like bass, mids, highs, but it's like sideways. That's
something you expect when you're going from not Pioneer to something not.
Well,
not
even
Pioneer.
normal Denon controllers have them fucking regular. It's just how small it is. It's just weirdly sideways for some reason.
I'm sure it's gonna be some like learning curve, but you know, I'm sure it'll be.
Oh yeah, I've used Denon controllers just for fun, and they're based. You know, as long as you can cue and stuff, I can get used to the effects and stuff and loops.
They look cool.
I know Wizard of Lindis just bought he just bought the Prime 4, I think, the all-in-one system, which is nice. Denon is.
Jeez, you guys are buying equipment. I'm over here with the keyboard.
There's always that one dude at the Vapor URL Fest who's hunched over a 404. He's like,
I really love how your thing is glitching out.
Okay, forget the joke.
No, but it was working because it was like, you're like the 404 is interesting. I don't know how to use it. I don't know what it does even.
Just a sampler.
I don't even know what that means in context of performing live.
You just press buttons and it makes a sound and you play sounds.
You like preset like samples pretty much, right? Is how it works?
So like in your loops and stuff? So it's basically like if I play like say with a Launchpad but all in one basically?
Kind of. I mean, I don't know for sure. I've never
used them. Like if you're just queuing songs up, I always see people press buttons on them and I'm always like, what are you doing exactly?
Yeah,
I'm not shitting on it. I just literally don't know how that works.
Yeah, there's a distinction between people who are playing songs live and people who are DJing. And
load samples and loops into it. Okay.
Yeah, samples.
Load sections of tracks. Okay, cool.
Yeah, speaking of transitioning to like IRL shows, I can't wait to see Pat again because that motherfucker has such a stage presence.
That guy
is crazy.
Dude, we have a lot of fun. It's fun. It's fun. Like I just miss performing live so much. I miss it so much.
Exactly.
Yes.
Know?
And when I do those sets, like I always think going into them, I'm always like, all right, this time I'm gonna like. I rewatch them sometimes, and I'm like, I need to stop talking so much. But then when you're there, and like the crowd, like I feel like people expect it at this point, and it just works. Like just like yelling and like I don't know. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like that.
Sure, so you gotta
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
nah, it's fun. Aesthetics night. That was another. I mean, Disco Pizza. That was just such a fun 12 hours, like from start to finish when it was over, and I can't wait. Cannot wait.
It's pretty nuts.
Cat's Deli afterwards. That was cool.
Spending $30 on like a sandwich.
Worth it just to try once. I try anything once. Name it.
Is that the vending machine one where you gotta open the? Or is that a different one?
No. It's the place when Harry met Sally.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The $3 billion pastrami on rye, very good. They do delivery now.
It's very tasty. It's just way too expensive.
Yeah. Just buy it once. I had the matzo ball soup with a little pickle and a little pastrami on rye.
Matzo balls. Well, we got just 2 comments from Twitter, baby. We want to spin through them right now.
Twitter.
We got an unknown caller, not the one on Business Casual. The first one. Young Mark. He says, how the fuck do you play URL shows? I'm a 31-year-old boomer and I don't know shit about technology. So I would say, I would rephrase the question as, let's say you want to play one and haven't, how would you get into it? Which is kind of hard because I feel like as organizers, we've all just asked people. I don't think I've ever had someone submit. The only show I've ever submitted to and got it.
It's not like someone, no one goes to you and is like, "Hey, are you doing a set? Are you doing a festival? Here's a set if you want to use it." It's just,
the only one that's ever worked is Econ, where I was like, "I'll play a set if you need it," and they were like, "Okay."
Hell yeah.
Which was nuts. Which was probably one of the best emails I've ever gotten at work. I remember like being at work, just being like, and then just getting it, and I just being like.
Well, that's funny you say that. I remember like because nobody in my job knows that like I do
exactly
stuff. And I remember that just the day, the Monday after Econ or any of those shows like Aesthetic Nights, just going to work like dressed, business, sitting at my laptop, but like knowing like like 24 hours.
I was a celebrity, legit
screaming at people and like.
That's what I always say. You got to go to the show, treat it like a celebrity, and you had to go back to work, and nobody cared.
Oh my gosh. I remember I had the show one night. It was like in 2019, but I was still in college at the time. So, but it was like right after college. So I came to classes just dressed up in a bartender outfit, and Obama was there. You had to be there.
What? Did you forget the rest of the story?
I didn't know how to. Well, yeah, that's the whole story. I was just dressed funny.
What's funny, I look back at Econ. I didn't take enough pictures. It's one of those moments.
Oh my god!
But I was like, man, I don't have shit from that
picture. I regret it so much.
I am kicking.
Oh, Pat. I feel so bad. I got
pictures at Econ 1.
They took what?
I lost my keys after my set. I couldn't find my keys.
Fucking keys.
I'm looking for an hour, and then I realized I left them at the bag check-in in my bag, and I couldn't believe it.
Ugh. I put my
and
shit
that picture's so cool. Like everybody's there.
You know, okay, you know in Monsters Inc. when the he's on the cover of the magazine and he's like, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and he goes, "I'm on the cover of a magazine." The first one, the one that like Electronica, 100% Electronica posted. It's everybody, and I am behind someone, and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
But then Mesh posted one.
But then Mesh. Yeah, he posted a good one, and you can see everybody. And I was like, so I was there. I remember, like I said, I was so full of myself. I remember just being like, I don't care what the fuck I have to do. I just want to be part of this. I don't even care. I just need to be part of that. So first one, I was like, I've been here long enough. I deserve it.
Tonight is my night.
I was like, I don't.
My cast.
Like I said, I was like, I'll do dance merch. I don't give a shit. And then I got to play, so that was cool.
Dr. Duct Tape says, "Isn't it Mesh, not in Mesh?"
Yeah, we said Mesh, right?
Yeah, it's Mesh.
Mesh.
It's
definitely not N Mesh. I get Mesh, but I think it is just Mesh.
Yeah, taken by Rich Sanders.
I think I knew that. And I think we have another one. Maybe you guys can decode this for me. But right. It's from Quiz. Not that it's in code, but there's a big word here. Obvious one, but how can URL shows grow and change to take advantage of the format and the meta-contextual spirit of Vaporwave? That's what I mean by decode. What the?
Shut up. Stop tweeting.
I think I get that.
It's Quiz. We love Quiz.
I mean, when I think of Vaporwave, I think of just live visual, just like kind of psychedelic visuals.
Yeah.
And I think taking advantage of the like having like visualists on each show too, as well as musical artists, is a great part of like kind of solidifying the URL Vaporwave experience, because
I think so. Like, I think definitely if I play another like big show, like I have plans for like a visual art, like a visual with me.
Right. Vaporwave is such a strong both artistic and sonic experience that it's worth having, you know, an artist who's a master at one and the other, and just pair them up together and band boom.
I think my only gripe with that is a difference of creative thought between.
Well, sure. I'm not saying you like wing it. You don't get like a guy to randomly wing it. You get like a guy who's doing it.
Right.
You get like a partner. You don't like just show up and be like, "Hey, I'll be doing a bunch of like anime shit," and you're like, "Why? What?"
But like, I get what you're saying. There is a risk of that when there are two people.
Well, if you're John and everything needs to be your way.
Risk of working together on things. What about combo champs? I mean, that was quite the risk of people working together.
And that paid off.
You know, I still to this day am just shocked how well it turned out. Because like there's so many things that could have went wrong on that.
Oh my god, I know. After a while with that, I remember after the combinations were selected, I was going to like, I had this plan. I wrote in a Google Doc that I was going to message everybody like every 2 weeks to check up on them, whatever. And then I was like, you know what? If it's going to fail, it's going to fail, and if it's going to work, it's going to work. Because like you said, there's so much room for error. Like someone who lives, you know, all the way across the world, and the time it takes to just get back to each other, and I don't know. I remember, like, for example, like Asu Tenku is like the signal wave artist, and then NXS or N5, whatever it is. I remember like there were two totally, completely different things, and Asu Tenku like doesn't really have a presence online, or like, you know, doesn't really show up a lot or talk or anything. So I was like, I don't know, like with these picks, like how is this gonna work? And then like the week of, like everybody just got it in, and I took like a little preview of each track, and I knew right there, I was like, this just that lineup and the order, it just magically like worked. It was perfect.
It really was. I was in awe. I watched the whole thing like live. I think we were in a call. I think did we stream it? I think I might have streamed our perspective of it.
I think you did an after party. Did you?
I think we streamed it during the reveal, and I think we did like an after party.
Yeah.
That was during the 1,000 Crickets phase.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because
are dope.
Yeah, we did, because we watched the pairing live, I think. And then we watched.
That was another thing. I think that was another huge thing. I think that really made it fun was this like waiting for the pick and like. So,
I felt it took so long because there's a countdown between each one. I was like,
oh, the best was the countdown.
Oh yeah,
the YouTube premiere countdown, and then the 2-minute countdown. Everyone in the chat was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!"
That was where like we had that running gag of like, "Oh, it's Power PCME with 1,000 crickets," like just silence. Like, oh, cool.
Next time, what I want to do is I really want to make it like a sports broadcast and have like. I mean, like someone who comes to mind, like Wizard of Loneliness, you know, like if he were to like commentate in between every 2 minutes,
oh my god,
his predictions for the next one. I think something like that could be really cool.
Oh my god, like a mid-Atlantic accent or something.
Yeah, combo champ
and 3D Blast with
it's weird because it wasn't a URL show, but it was like the countdown and the premiere definitely were played as one. As one.
It was a show. It was a show, right?
It was on. You know what's funny? I mentioned URL shows to people, like just even people online, and they'll be like, "What does that mean?" I'll be like, "It's a URL show."
My girlfriend asked me that today. I told her we're going to be talking about URL shows. She's like, "What does that even mean?" I was going to say like internet.
They're like URL and IRL, and they're like,
"Yeah, but people aren't tech savvy to know what URL is."
I essentially name it as like internet online show.
Yeah, I say a lot of stuff online.
Online shows, yeah.
URL is just IRL. They just like over their heads. I mean, they just don't get it.
They don't get it.
It's so catchy, though.
URL, IRL. It's such a good thing. Combo Champ Volume 2. Really. Just call it a stream.
It'll happen.
It's true.
It'll happen.
I'm still waiting for Block Party 2, which at this point, I think it's just going to be Catskill stuff, right?
I'll still definitely... The real goal is to do the Block Party in real life. That's what I want to do, is just in Asbury... I don't know if any of you ever been to Asbury Park. John, me and you met up there. But there's like the main street there, and I want to just figure out a way to close and actually do a real block party, like vendors and
like Mad Decent block party. They do that.
So much fun.
That sounds like that's a lot.
That's
so much innovation.
That's the innovate. And while we're at the tail end, what can we do? What's the future? If we got what is the future? What are we doing? What's next? We got roasts. That's the future. We got
casual anniversaries, you know.
I'm trying to think, like not like specific events, but like what can we do?
We have shows, we have charity events, we have
I don't know. I don't really know if there's like something you could pinpoint, because it feels like whenever something new comes out, it's just such a surprise. And like when Nano told me what he was doing, I never thought of like that as an idea, and I was like, that is brilliant. Like that is just so funny, and I'm sure like in the next month or something, someone's gonna come up with something and tell us about it, and we're just gonna be like, that's
I
also
think
me.
the biggest flex is gonna be someone who plays a live show, records it, and then sends that as a URL show set.
Oh,
some mother effer.
Probably gonna be me.
I was gonna say, Pat, you have anything coming up this year? I mean, this year we're already a quarter way through the year already. I mean,
I know.
We got another 3 quarters left. I mean, what do you got planned for this year?
There was before COVID started, I had an Atlanta show with Fiber and Vapor, and then there was what was it called? Disco? What was
Superwave?
No, in Toronto. What was the thing in Toronto called?
Oh, Essential 2.
Essential, yeah.
Yeah,
there was
Essential.
That. Then I was talking with Dan Mason. I wanted to do an Aesthetic Nights in Florida, so that was another one. And I wanted to do something with Vito, like a DMT Tapes X Pad Chennington thing.
I would consider flying down for that. Holy shit.
You know, it would have been cool. So we would have done something like that. And then Chicago, I remember Randy, I was telling you about that or something. Like
there was the Chicago St. Louis one, like the pairings.
Yeah. And then stuff with Ronnie from Vaporspace. Yeah. We wanted to do, I don't know if anyone knows this, but we actually were going to plan a 1-week tour through the middle, like St. Louis, and go all the way. I forget where we're ending up, but it would have been like a whole week of shows. So we wanted to do that. But now I mean, with the record label, that has totally taken up all my time this past 3 months, 4 months, whatever.
I think,
and then
and speaking of innovations, when I saw the Fake Fever show, and then I was like, it's like him launching an album, and then like artists that are similar to like launch this album. I was like, that's good. That's genius. Like no one.
Well,
I've seen it before, but yeah, it's good.
I've seen launch parties, but like specifically recurring, like too, like for a label to be like new album, boom, 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 line up.
We're going to be doing what I want to do is it's like Nintendo Directs. Like it's just going to be every 3 or 4 months for those like big vinyl releases. I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be the spotlight where I announce it, and then we'll do a whole Slugfest lineup, and they'll be able to pick the artist they want. So that's the thing.
Very good idea.
I kind of want to just let them totally take the platform for themselves. That's what I do with them. So just let them, and it helps me because I still learning so much stuff. So like I'll just tell them, hey, what do you want to do with this? And then they'll tell me, and we just go from there. So
some Pacific Plaza talked about like the hybrid show where it's multiple artists in real life at one location but streaming. So it's like we all meet up and then stream it.
Oh yeah, that's what Essential did in 2019. Though the stream was kind of crappy. But yeah, I think I've seen some. I mean, like even Econ did that.
True.
It's definitely. I think it's going to happen. Like that's.
But
just
even if it's on smaller scale stuff, I mean, too.
It seems like an obvious thing to do though at this point, because if you're doing these live shows, you just get those extra heads to watch. You'll just set a camera up and then stream it. You know, I think we'll get a lot of those.
What about the audio though?
At Chennington's house, we'll stream live from his laptop. You know, kill it.
I was just thinking of like for it like back when Essential 2 was being planned. I was thinking of like having like a multicam setup. Like one of the artists, one of the crowd, you know, have different mics have a mic for the crowd, have like the booth audio from the DJ, and just like have someone in a computer somewhere, just like kind of being like the
switcher,
yeah. The what's it called, the producer for the live stream.
Kind of like me in this stream.
Wow,
we're
already looking at the future.
Wow.
Hey, so when we gonna get the Pod Chennington podcast?
The Pad. Oh boy, he already has those. Kind of
yeah, I have the late night with Pad, but I just been so busy.
Even the ones we talked with me and Quip and
that was the late night. No, that was chilling in the
Pad. Yeah,
that was
chilling.
So much stuff, but those are gonna come back a lot too. Like I've just been working on the house because the whole
of course.
I'm sure, but understands that, you know, when you're playing, like my house was, well, I mean, not as bad. Like from what I heard, it was pretty bad over there. Like, but yeah, I can understand, you know, not wanting to do anything because you're dealing with other shit that's more pressing.
Yeah, it's been nuts.
On top of the YouTube channel, I mean, like, and the record, I mean, yeah, you got your hands full.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah,
I respect you, man.
100%. Like, they can throw stuff. Cool, we respect them. But who's next in line for the throne? The king. The valedictorian. When's the last time you called yourself the Vaporwave valedictorian?
Oh my god! I totally just after I threw that out, every time I'd say it, I would just get murdered.
Hey, you know,
I'd get massacred. I was like, you know what?
Listen, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, you said it the first time, and then now it kind of are in a weird way. I need to.
You know, it's like Vaporwave artists put Japanese in their name, and then 2 years later get rid of it. You had valedictorian, and then, you know, a few years later, it's out the door.
I think the thing, too, is, like, just there's so much Vaporwave. No one's going to ever know it all. And that's the thing I would, like, I always try to convey in my videos. Like, it's, like, a lot of times I just get people send me stuff, and I'm hearing it for the first time and whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to save the drama. I'm going to drop the valedictorian thing. And now I think it's, I forget what my YouTube about is. It's, like, deep dives into fascinating music or something. Something boring.
Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. Number one place for unique music. Only Eagle Eye people know that one.
Your description is deep dives into the fascinating world of music.
Yeah,
there you go.
The most brutal meatball or something. I'm sure.
When I saw that, that whole video is another crazy story. Like, I remember uploading that video, and I was like, "This is going to go so crazy wrong." Using this word brutal, like I was like, this is just gonna be. And at the time, I was like, because I remember there was this one day I was just going through YouTube homepage and just seeing like the most clickbaity things, like just so obnoxious. And I was like, fuck these people, like they're getting all these views.
It works,
and it works. And there were times like on my channel, maybe I was a little clickbaity, a little bit. It's kind of the game. And this time I was like, you know what? I'm going all out. I'm gonna go real clickbaity on this. Most brutal album in the world. And I was like, brutal, you know, it's Machine Girl. Those like, it's all punchy and it's all like, to me, I was like, I could say brutal for it. And then like the metal heads and like just, oh my god!
I remember Justin Wang. Like, people want they want to watch it because either they care or they want to watch it so they're like, that's not what they want. So you get both.
It worked out. I ended up getting I think 4 times the normal views.
Do it,
and I'm not saying like it's obviously not the best thing, but for that video it was funny. I don't know.
Sometimes you have to play the game, Sometimes you have to upload the mukbang, video. It gets a lot of views.
Where's your mukbang video?
Soon. We'll make that soon.
That's such a funny nut thing to do.
Hey,
just
once the kitchen is water free, then we'll do the mukbang video.
just use a funny phrasing, and then it's just gonna be funny to get.
You just have to hashtag meme funny. Like hashtagging funny on our TikToks is like, I feel scummy doing it. But you know what? It's funny. It's how it always worked.
It works.
The most brutal clickbait I've ever typed.
I was gonna say, do we have anything? You got anything you want to plug, Ben? I think we're gonna wrap up at least the main show here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's the record label. So for those who don't know, I started a record label recently. I wanted to do a release a month, but I'm realizing this is not possible for me because of all the other stuff I'm doing. So. But check out Catskill Records. There's a Bandcamp for it. There's Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. And the YouTube has a lot of just re-uploads of sets people have thrown at festivals. There's stuff from you guys all in there. So you can check that out. And then on the channel, I've been working on this Caretaker video for like 6 months now. Yeah. And it's just taking up all my time. So that's going to be real big. And like I can safely say this is by far the best thing I've ever done. It's just so in depth, and like there's so much Caretaker. There's so much stuff out there already. So I was like, I got to do something. I really got to go far with it. So that's coming out. What else can I say? That's really. I'm like putting floor down. Like it's really not that interesting on my end. But those are the 2 things: Catskill Records and the big Caretaker video. After that, I don't know. Like. What I'm going to do next with the channel. I feel like I'm just always trying to do something different, but we'll see,
Sounds sick.
Visit patchennington.com to get all your Pat Chennington needs.
Didn't the Caretaker had like a thing on TikTok where it's one of those like what? Oh, I just had a bunch.
Yeah, I'm talking about it in the
I just
video
had a Windows notification, so if you're listening to this, you just heard that. That's probably what it was.
That's so fun. I'm just imagining TikTok dances to like.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't a dance. It was literally like a.
Like Ben had 4 men have 4 moods. It's just like it's the 4 albums where like deteriorates like the over time, and it's just like.
Could you imagine being the caretaker and then ex-Zoomer? Like, it's such a weird like.
It is bizarre.
Audiences.
I mean, the caretaker is the reason why dementia is like a huge thing, like really. I mean, like in the public consciousness of like an actual sort of like crumb. I mean, like
yeah.
Like seriously.
I thought you were gonna say like, yeah, this album made dementia blow up. Everyone's aware of
dementia. I remember Fantasy Deluxe showed me Caretaker a long time ago and was like, it's vaporwave, but from like a different time. Like like almost like sampling older, and it was dope.
I heard what's with the rock on it? It's
that's An Empty Bliss.
Yeah, that's the one I heard.
That was my first introduction. That's a great album.
Mm-hmm.
Well, other boys, I didn't really introduce us at the beginning, besides Pad. But Disco, you want to pop anything?
Yeah, sure. WDSK 97.9 FM streaming tomorrow 8 p.m. on my Twitch. We're gonna have live closed captions. That's gonna be exciting. We on that show we, play user submitted funky jams. And I'll also take calls on the hotline. So, fun time from 8 to 12 a.m. Eastern.
Damn.
Also, visit discoholic.neocities.org. Put a link in the chat.
John, what's cooking?
Hey, well, the day after that, Sunday, Christ Live every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to usually around
11 midnight.
A couple hours there. It's a
chill.
fun time. I mean, not as high production value as Disco's, but you know what? Hey, we still have fun.
We have great conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
We really do.
Alone Online vinyl is still available, so if you want to pick that up, I mean,
listen, if you love Tetris, that's a show for you. If you love chill conversations, that's for you.
If you love real conversation, I will talk shit on that show.
It's like
3D.
As for me, the main guy, I do want to plug. So we got cassettes on May 7th, which is also the Business Casual anniversary stream that you didn't plug, but I will plug. Oh, they're in. I actually haven't seen these yet. Music Here to Stay cassettes, everybody.
Ooh.
Can you open them?
Ooh,
Oh, they're shrink wrap. Sorry.
They're shrink wrap, but
oh, nice. They're orange, baby.
Orange. Ooh.
Oh, he's looking for it. He doesn't know
well,
where.
I'm going to get what you gave me. Hold on.
You gotta go to the trash.
Find it.
He's rummaging through his garbage. I just threw it all away.
Let me go in the trash.
He's in his bunker right now. The vapor bunker.
It's in the bin where he keeps all the records he gets for free from people.
Yep.
Yep. God,
it's like they're not cool enough for the actual record collection, but they're just,
There it is. Boom.
Oh, there it is.
Wait, that's not my Mac one. There we go.
Yeah, dude. I gave it to you in New York, right?
Yeah, at Econ. And then I got this bad boy right here.
Ooh, yeah.
Autographed.
Nice.
Dude,
I don't got anything from you. I have your sticker somewhere, but
hell yeah.
Under the lid of the toilet. And then April 30th, Friday. What's funny is that on our schedule it was supposed to be. I don't know why it said today. Did anyone else get the notification today on the Google Calendar?
Yeah, we just can't wait.
We must have put that in wrong. But April 30th is the hashtag 3D Blast is over party, which is a combination URL show, cancel party, skits, comedy, fucking there's performances, it's everything. It's 3D Blast best friends become his worst enemies. That's the tagline, I guess.
A horrible time.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. I haven't watched. I've skimmed some to make sure they work, but I really haven't watched them. So I'll be not reacting, but I'll be in the chat, also crying. So I'm not sure how in character to sell this, because I want people to show up. And I am excited for this, but at the same time, stop! Restart required! No! Don't restart.
The first URL show cancel party roast session.
It's not restarting. Yes.
Imagine this is Randy's head. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be on the 3D Blast Twitch, which is twitch.tv/3D_BLAST. That one, featuring, we got Christ, Disco, wrong way, Disco, Pad, Dan Mason, Icy, Hexadecimal, and Carter95, Frank JFC, Wizard of Loneliness, Nano Shrine.
Yeah, oh my god.
A Hero.
Mhm.
Let me
Well,
double check.
starts with a D.
Did I not say Dan?
You'll find out.
D. Hold on. God, I have it written down.
He's skipping through the video right now.
The Hero, Christ, Disco, Dan, Pad, Nano, Icy, Hex, Encarta, Wiz, and Frank. I said it all. And me. And Leo Vader, if you guys love YouTube.
Huh?
Yeah,
Oh shit! What,
Leo made a
Vader?
video, and Samir made a video.
Oh right, yeah. You can submit your videos.
If you want to tell me why I suck, tell me the story about what I've done to you, you can email this email, rdj3db@gmail.com, a short video, and if it's good and not offensive, I'll slot it in somewhere. I think Skelly just said he sent one.
What's Skelly gonna say? You gonna say he's punk?
He said, "Oh my god, you won't let that
go. You're a little
sorry.
punk."
I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's such
Because you have this image of punk in your mind.
Wait,
and John.
Hilton, did you actually send one? Hold on.
But I get what he means.
RDJ sent. You said sent. I don't think I got it. Uh-oh.
What?
Skeleton said he sent one in a Twitter thing. I don't know if I got it.
Oh, we can deal with that later.
We can deal with this later. Oh, it's in my spam.
Oh,
good.
Cool.
Where are my logs?
Called cancel video. All right. And remember, as always, you can check us out at funnynet.net, where we have a little schedule. I'll be back to my normal schedule in a few weeks after the party and stuff. And then stick around for the callback, where you can call in and ask us questions, hang out. I think we'll be sticking around with Pad for another 5 minutes. And then
I'll save another 10 minutes. I'm going fishing tomorrow, everybody. First big fishing day of the year. So
and then you'll get us early. So we'll see you in less than 1 minute. All right. Bye.
Goodbye.